All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless me here again, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. All right, before I get going on this video, I'm going to be talking about Journey and Steve Perry. Here's Mecca Everlasting. This came out a few weeks ago and deserves at least one or two holy crap Batmans, all right? If you're familiar with this band, they've been around for a while, but they don't release a lot of music. When they do, it's typically very epic. If you're a fan of Foreigner, Toto, and Survivor, Mecca, seriously, is, carrying that torch, moving into the future. Of course, I talked about Pride of Lions recently, and they're in the same category, but Mecca is something very unique. So please check out their brand new album. It's called Everlasting. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Also, people aren't disappointed when they go and listen to Modern Retro Radio, modernretrofm.com. Yours truly doing some voiceover work over there. Who knows? Maybe I'll do more someday if they want me to, but I'm introducing the brand new Mitch Malloy song. Mitch Malloy, who is a great artist and has a brand new album coming out that you should check out as well. But you'll hear the new single first, only on Modern Retro Radio. Now, on to the topic du jour, which is, of course, Steve Perry. Steve Perry and Journey, a new documentary is coming out, and it will be premiering this Sunday night. It's called A Voice Lost and Found, and it's going to be on the Reelz channel this weekend. Now, I don't have the Reelz channel, so yeah, I don't do the big cable package with 600 channels or the satellite dish on the roof and so forth. I like TV. I don't like TV that much, but in any event, if you're a Steve Perry fan, if you're a Journey fan, this is what this documentary is about. Journey dominated the American music scene in the 70s and 80s with their epic arena rock anthems and power ballads. Frontman Steve Perry was dubbed The Voice, thanks to the untouchable vocal stylings that burned up the radio waves and made him a household name. But the bigger Journey became, the more miserable Perry grew. He was the rare rock superstar who craved anonymity more than applause. Then at the height of the band's success, Perry did the unthinkable by quitting Journey. Now, little footnote here. I wouldn't say Perry quit at the height of the band's success. If the band had released Escape and then maybe Frontiers, and he quit immediately following Frontiers, I would say, yeah, he quit when this band was at their peak. Compare it to, say, the Police, right? The Police literally quit after Synchronicity, which was insane because they were the biggest band on the planet. And they just said, yeah, we're done. We're all done. Most likely due to Sting, who had, I don't know. I think Sting is kind of a narcissist, whereas Steve Perry had some issues that he was trying to work through here. So I wouldn't say he quit at the height of the band's success. I think he was looking for an off-ramp, and he found one after the band said, sure, you can pretty much be in charge of Raised on Radio. We'll give you a new rhythm section, but that wasn't enough to keep Steve Perry going. Anyway, they go on to say here, that alone should have been an absolute death knell for a band so defined by a single voice. But Journey's other longtime members refused to give up the dream and brought in a new singer to keep the music going. Fans were livid that anyone would dare to try to fill Perry's shoes, and they still are today. Fans are always livid when you mention, hey, did you hear Arnel Pineda the other night? Or, Steve Augeri, he did a good job. Or even, hey, Jeff Scott Soto, he would have been a good permanent lead singer for Journey. Nope, not having it. Shows were played in empty houses and threats were even made against the band. Now, I don't know. Were shows played in completely, they say empty houses? Do they mean like empty arenas? I think threats were made against the band because the Perry people were just outraged. When that replacement singer, now notice how they don't mention any names here. When that replacement singer didn't work out, desperation forced the band to turn to YouTube for the most unlikely inspiration. Now that was Steve Augeri, so he's not like the masked man or anything. He's Steve Augeri, so you should kind of mention him there by name. But this is just basically a preview of what this is going to be about. Journey members Jonathan Cain and Dean Castronovo are joined by former members Jeff Scott Soto and Narada Michael Walden, as well as Sirius XM radio personality Eddie Trunk, otherwise known as the Trunkster, and former Journey producer Kevin Elson, to tell the band's amazing tale. This actually sounds kind of interesting. I didn't know Soto was going to be in this, so I wonder what he's going to say. It says here, Reelz is available in more than 40 million homes on DirecTV, Dish Network, Verizon Fios TV, AT&T Uverse, and Xfinity, Spectrum, Optimum, Mediacom, Peacock, Philo, Freecast, DirecTV Stream, and Dish, Sling, and many other cable systems and major streaming services nationwide. I don't think it's available on Roku, but if I wanted to purchase Peacock, which I will never give extra money to NBC for anything, Comcast basically, they're already destroying my income with the monthly bill for internet service. Jeff Scott Soto says, sadly, I don't have Reelz as I use YouTube TV. If there's anyone who can work out how to make a MP4 or otherwise show this to me some other way, please DM me. I would love to see it since I'm in it. So Soto and I are in the same boat. He doesn't, this is great. So I'm going to be sending him a message later. Like, hey bro, you gotta send me a link to this so I can watch it and then do a breakdown, an overview, a critique, cutting edge critique. That would be what I do. So yeah, it looks interesting because Jeff Scott Soto is in it. I'm more interested in what Jeff's gonna say. Dean's probably just gonna be humble and say, yeah, I'm just lucky to be here. I'm hoping Soto says some provocative things because that would be interesting. But I think pretty much everybody is under a gag order. Who's not under a gag order? In other words, they're just going to tell the story, I think, that everybody already knows. They're not going to really add any juicy inside stuff for you people who really want to know what's going on. But you know what? That's why people watch this channel, because I say stuff that no one else will say. Like Steve Perry just didn't like these guys and he walked away. He missed the music scene. He tried to come back and then he realized he still didn't want to do it and walked away again. Or there's a possibility that Steve Perry came back for Trial by Fire because they had to fulfill a record contract. Notice how Journey got dropped after Trial by Fire, and then Arrival showed up with that singer here that they don't mention, Steve Augeri, who was a bridge to Jeff Scott Soto, who was another bridge to Arnell. And Jeff Scott Soto deserves a lot of credit. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. He had a great stage presence. I've talked about this before in other videos. And he can sing pretty much anything. If Van Halen wanted to do a tribute, and by the way, there's a rumor out there that Michael Anthony and Soto and maybe a couple other people might be getting together once Sammy Hagar decides to retire and do a Van Halen thing. Jeff Scott Soto can sing the Sammy stuff and the Dave stuff. And he's a vocal, what do they call that? Chameleon. He's a vocal chameleon, can do pretty much anything. And it would be interesting to hear all of the Van Halen catalog, like one song after another. Jeff Scott Soto, he's the man who can do it. So anyway, I spent too much time on Soto and not enough time on Steve Perry. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone says anything really provocative about Steve Perry, like what they believe the problem was. You know, he obviously he's kind of reclusive. We sort of know that. But as far as the personality issues within the band, I think that would be some must-see TV if someone decides to spill the beans on that. Spilling the beans on Mecca, here they are. This is their album, Everlasting. Yeah, it deserves a couple of holy crap Batmans. I mean, if you want to listen to quality AOR music, like one great song after another, great vocals, well-written material, not too much clutter in the production. Although I think this is a little more, I don't know, it loses a little bit of the Toto sound and goes maybe in another direction to some degree, but it still retains the overall wonderful, well-written Mecha template. So there you are, Everlasting, fantastic album. Go check it out. Also, Modern Retro Radio, also Patreon. Just saying, folks, you do this each day and you think to yourself, I've got this many subscribers and I'm complaining again because I've got this many views on a video. Although I've seen it happen to other channels with much higher subscriptions, like way more subs than I have. So I guess it's across the board. So for those of you who want to support the channel, who like the channel, who like what I do, who like what I say, who don't mind some of my political commentary, which I know is just so off-putting to some people and they just can't watch me, which is okay. You know, I've decided I'm going to go in a certain direction. Anyway, if you want to support me, please check out Patreon. Also, YouTube memberships. I did upload a video about Greta Van Fleet, and it's for members only. So something kind of weird happened with Greta Van Fleet. Well, not weird, actually very, predictable, especially since we're in the month of June. Honestly, it's kind of not that big of a deal for me, but some of the things that they link it to, like some of the legislation that's being passed in the state of Tennessee. Anyway, you're going to have to watch that, but the only way you can see it is to be a YouTube member. It's $2.99, and it's real easy. There's a join button when you land on the homepage of this channel. All right, Journey on the Reelz channel, Sunday night, 9 p.m. You want to tune in for this? It sounds like it's going to be epic, and I'm going to eventually have to watch this and give you my take on this brand new documentary. All right, I'm done. See you soon.